Guys, I want to just share briefly what or how the seasons in my life happened. Of course, I've been through a lot of seasons, but how I came to be in the season that I'm in, right? So, the biggest thing happens to me in my life, like till date, I don't think there's anything bigger that has happened, right? So, obviously, this is the passing of my father. So, my dad passed away in 2020. Okay, that happens. 2021, 2023, 22, 23. In these 3 years, I can't say I had accepted. I can't say I had really wrapped my head around it. Even though obviously I knew and I've accepted to a certain extent, and I had not really digested, I had not really taken it in because I was busy with one thing after another, and by June 2020, 2022, I had my son. And all this is happening, like all the other things are happening, like all the other things are transpiring in my life, relationship wise, family wise. Now I'm a mom, and there is this big thing that, still lingers in my heart or in my soul. I'm still carrying the weight of losing my dad, and I haven't really dealt with it. I haven't really like thought about it in a way that I'm like, okay, wrap your head around it. This is what is actually happening to you. I think I started doing so when I moved this side. So I'm in a different province. I'm no more staying in my primary province or my area of birth. What is it called? My original province. I don't know what to say. I'm no longer there where I grew up and everything. I am in a different province right now. So me being here, that is why I'm saying this is my season of solitude, because I sort of like got removed from, my people, my big community, and I sort of just found myself here. And I just really found myself here, like I just stumbled. I just took the decision. That's what happened. I actually took the decision to come here. And in taking the decision, ta-da, you're alone. You don't have anyone that you know the side. You don't have, a huge population, a huge community like you used to have back at home, right? Guys, I'm trying to be comfortable. I'm trying to be comfortable. Okay, yeah. 2023 hits, and now it's I'm dealing with it now. 2023 hits. I'm in a different province. I don't have a job. I have a son. It's different. Let me just say the situation. I don't want to unpack the whole entire situation, but it is a different setting and it is difficult. It is a different situation, and it is a difficult situation. However, it is a situation that triggered healing. It is a situation that actually made me face the fact that, hey, look into the mirror, see whatever you see, and deal with it. And I think that is where I realized, yeah, my dad is gone. And that is where I actually, started crying it out. Guys, I used to cry fairly, even before that, like when it would hit me. But it was usually from a place of shock. I don't know how to explain it, but it was usually from a place of, I don't really believe this happened, and it would just shock me. But I think it was in 23 where I actually had time. I wasn't busy, I wasn't distracted. I really had time to be like, this hurts, this is painful, and this is happening, and I'm not going to see this person again, and he's not going to bail me out of anything. And I miss him. I miss the conversations. I think more than anything, I miss conversating with my dad, because I am at a time in my life where I'm realizing that I'm a person that likes conversing, but I just don't like talking. Jay, I love, conversating with people in a very free way. And it made me appreciate that my dad was one of the people that rarely offended. I could talk to him about anything. And I'm not saying anything like I told him everything, but he was a person that really valued opinion, valued someone else's intellect. He was a good listener and all that. So that is when I started taking these things and being like, hey, actually, there's a gap. Guys, the feeling was so paralyzing, and I'm sorry for the birds. If you know, as usual, we have a bird issue in this channel, and I'm sorry about it. So, guys, yeah, as I was saying, that whole feeling when I got to it, that stage, it's sort of like something that muted me, something that made me feel a bit paralyzed, like I didn't know what to do. Like it was, and also it wasn't something I was able to explain even to myself. It was just something I knew that I'm carrying inside, but I didn't really know what to do with the thing. And I know in as much as there are other things, because guys, this is what I'm carrying inside, and there are all these other things that are not going well. So now I'm dealing with these things, but internally, this is what I'm carrying. I hope you're getting me. And I went on, guys. I went on. This was like 2023 July. And I think in times where I would just have an opportunity to be alone, maybe in the house. And by alone, I mean alone with my son, and maybe he's sleeping, whatever. I would cry. I would cry. There were times where I felt like I could just scream, and that's the only thing, that would help me. And I would. I would let it out, and it helped. Fast forward, we get to 2024, and things are getting better. I'm healing, guys. I'm healing from grief. I had this other necklace that I used to, grieve my dad. That was like my necklace of mourning, and I mourned with it. And I remember it meant so much for me. It meant so much for me. And then it was, I think, in the year of 24, some point that necklace broke. And when it broke, I just didn't feel sad. But I know that had that necklace had it broken the year before, I was probably going to just lose it. I don't know what would have happened to me. But for the fact that it broke last year at the time that it did, for me, it really reflected the fact that I'm healing. And I'm saying this to give context to what it was, or the position that I was in, that made me look and say, you know what, this is where I am, this is how deep it is, but I want to be at a better place. I do not want to be consumed by grief. I do not want to feel muted. I do not want to feel paralyzed. I am a person that likes speaking. I am a person with dreams and goals. I want to be able to explore those dreams and goals, and I do not want anything to be, something that stops me or limits me. And I'm not saying that the grief is what, made it, a challenge for me to get to those goals, but it was the biggest thing. And I knew that if I dealt with that, these other things would be a lot easier, or it would be a lot easier for me to focus on other things in my life that, are probably not going well. So yes, I did the work, I cried. Guys, doing the work has a lot to do with really like accepting where you are, and dealing with it. If it means crying, if it means shouting, just whatever it takes to honor your feelings. I did that. It didn't look pretty, it was ugly, it was effort, just like the definition said. Okay, I get to a place where I'm seeing that, okay, I'm getting somewhere now. I have more room to focus on other things and other areas. For me, this year, it became now relationships, because I then realized that, sometimes we go through so much pain that we hold on to relationships, we hold on to people. You get what I mean? And that's what I did. Somehow, by God's grace, I then managed to be given the chance to like zoom into my relationships. And also, nature did its thing, guys. Some people just revealed themselves all by themselves without me even having to, work so much. And that actually taught me that that's also work. Finances, guys, that one is another one. That one I am still working on. Because guess what? I am still unemployed. However, business is the way, and I'm working, so hard, guys, to get to a point where financially I am at a place where I want to be. Okay, so we do all the work, like after this big thing that has happened, now I'm dissecting relationships. I'm like, finances, but most of all, me. Now I'm working on me. Who is Vanessa? What is Vanessa like? Where does Vanessa want to get to? How can she get there? And those things make me then zoom into the areas in my life, like relationship, finances, calling, my spirituality, because all those things are what are going to inform my identity. Those things are what are going to inform, or what are going to add to, hey, I don't know if the sentence made sense, but those are the things that are going to add to how